Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in this video, I'm going to give you a sneak preview into an online intensive I did recently. And we spent some time focusing on limiting beliefs. Now, if you want to build a business or really do anything where you're pushing the boat out, breaking through a comfort zone, anything new, then belief has a huge part to play in how successful you are. If you truly believe this is going to work, you'll be so much more likely to get results than if you're full of doubt, you're too scared to move forward. So I wanted to share this with you, and I go through a couple of exercises on this live session. It was on a webinar, so you don't get to see my face, it's just me and slides. At the end of the video, if you do want to get started with your Amazon business, I'll give you some information about how we can have a chat and maybe have a conversation about your goals. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Clients I have and people who build businesses who have too many limiting beliefs, they get in their own way, and it's like a ball and chain. And these beliefs stop them, slow them down, and prevent them from getting any kind of result. Just a fact. However, people that have unwavering beliefs in themselves, beliefs in the system, aka Amazon, beliefs in their goals, they're the ones who get all the results. And here's the insidious thing about limiting beliefs. They hold you back, they stop you from moving forward, and sometimes you don't even know they exist. They keep showing up time after time after time, but you're not aware the effect they're having on your life. So this is my attempt to help try and surface them. How do you spot a limiting belief that's happening? Well, it could be in language, phrases that you say to yourself a lot, opportunities that have been missed, right? Limiting beliefs, they shape something called your reticular activating system. I want you to do this with me, okay? Close your eyes. In a second, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. Okay, so keep them closed for now. In a second, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, and I'm going to ask you to find objects around you in your area that are blue. Okay? So open your eyes now and look around the room for objects that are blue. Blue, blue, blue. I want you to count them. How many are there? Blue, 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 blue. Blue, blue, blue. Have a look around the room. Can you see them? Blue, blue, blue. Okay, now close your eyes. Now, I want you to tell me how many objects in the room you saw that were green. Type in the chat. How many did you see? How many objects around the room did you see that were green? 1, says Ivan. 2, says Matthew. None, says Ifran. 0, says Adil. 0, says John. 0, says Manif. How many more objects are there in the room that are green that you didn't see? So if you saw none and there's 10, write 10. If you saw 1 and there's 15, write 14. How many more objects did you miss that are green? 5, says Ifran. Malin says 3. David says 3. Henrietta says 6. What if every single one of those green objects was an opportunity that you missed? This is what happens when you have limiting beliefs. Right, we have a center of our brain called the reticular activating system. What it basically acts as a filter. If we took in all the information we saw throughout the day, every day, we would be so overstimulated, we wouldn't be able to function. In fact, there is a disease some unfortunate people have where they don't have the RAS working properly, and they are bedridden because they're so overstimulated by noises, sounds, smells. All their senses are working overtime. We can only focus on certain things. Right, so it works as a filter. What gets through this is stuff that matters to you right now. So just now, you were just focusing on the red objects. If you have tons of limiting beliefs, they shape how your reticular activating system works. And basically, This means whatever you believe is right. If you believe Amazon doesn't work, you're right. You're right. Like Henry Ford says, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. It's as simple as that. Wow, says Sylvester. Exactly. What limiting beliefs do you think you have right now? I saw a few just now. Adil says, I'm too busy running other business to find the time to get started. Or am I? Right. Right, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. It's a belief. It's a belief that's sitting there, right? Female says, I like the ball and chain with the axe that breaks the chain. Love it. Yes, that's what we're trying to do. Sean says, like I'm not going to get there. Anxiety that I've missed out and will not make it. Interesting, Sean. Yeah, FOMO and doubts in yourself, right? Ifran says, limiting belief is that it won't work specifically for someone like me. Interesting. Fear of failing or screwing up, says Rajan. Losing or wasting money, says John. Interesting. Market is saturated, says Manish. I bet you're not the only one who believes that. There's a lot of people who believe that. Money does not grow on trees, Henrietta. Interesting. That is a phrase that's ingrained into our minds since childhood, right? Particularly if you come from like a household where money was tight, like I did. I was in like a housing association house. It's kind of like a council house. There was no money. There was no money when I was growing up. Parents didn't drive. Money doesn't grow on trees. It was like their favorite phrase, and I don't blame them, right? I mean, people who have olive plantations would probably disagree, right? Or vineyards probably disagree with you, right? Their belief is probably different. So here's the question then. You have these limiting beliefs. How can we defeat them? Well, I only have like another 90 minutes with you or so. I don't think we're going to be able to beat them 100% in this session. Or we might beat them temporarily, but beating a belief, it could come back tomorrow. So how do we beat it for good? There is an answer. There is an answer. Evidence. Right? Remember when a kid used to believe in Father Christmas? At some point you saw some evidence that he is 100% real, right? And you're like, okay, he's real. I still believe. Right? But seriously, at some point you had a belief that you thought was 100% true until suddenly it was shattered. It was because of evidence. Evidence to the contrary. What I want you to do is just be hyper vigilant, hyper aware of evidence to the contrary of your belief. If you believe Amazon is saturated, today start looking for evidence to the contrary and see what happens to the belief. See how you start to tune your reticular activating system and see how your results change, your attitude changes, your energy levels change, the speed that you learn things changes, your procrastination changes, etc., etc., etc. That's all I want you to do. Okay. All right. So taking action, says Donald. 100%. Thinking outside of the box, says Sylvester. Yes. Taking a leap of faith, says Manish. 100%. Taking the risk and proving yourself wrong, says Sue. Yes, absolutely. That's what we want to do. So here's a belief I really want you to install in yourself because it's 100% accurate. You're only one product away from changing your entire life. You're only one product away. So a few years ago, it was my dream to move to Europe. And I just wanted to live in like the nicest apartment in the universe. Because before that, I was working in a bar and I was a lodger in a tiny little room in a house where there was a guy and his teenage daughter who was like 16, and she would have house parties. And I'd come back from my shift at the bar to a bunch of teenagers. And her dad was out, and it would drive me insane because I would get no sleep and have to go back into the bar the next day to earn like 900 quid that month. Half of it was going to this room I was living in, and I was like, God, I need to get out of the UK for a while, and I need to have a nice big space. Long story short, started an Amazon business, launched a few products. This one took off here, that started to make £9,071.59p per month. 3K a month of that was profit. It enabled me to move to Sweden into this beautiful apartment, which is owned by a rock star. And it changed everything. My first year, because of this product and other products that went well, I ended up making over £300,000, reinvesting the profit back into the business and growing aggressively. And it changed absolutely everything for me. The whole journey started with one product. The point is, you're one product away from changing everything. Alan realized this is true as well. He launched this product, followed exactly my method, and made pretty much similar revenue, 9K a month with his product. And again, about a third of it was profit. Right? This happened in his second month launching his product. Imagine if you did just half of this with your product. Okay, I really hope that clip from the online intensive helped you think about some limiting beliefs that might be holding you back. Now, if you want to have a conversation about how we can get your Amazon business started, then I put a link to book an Amazon Accelerator call in the description of this video. Here's what we're going to do on this call. We'll talk about your goals. We'll get really clear on the type of business you want to build. Then we'll talk about, where are you now? What have you tried before? And has it worked? Has it not worked? And why do you want to change your current situation? When I know where you are now, we can build that into our plan. Finally, we'll talk about things that you might need help with getting from where you are now to hitting your goals. What things might stop you? What things might prevent you from moving forward? Once we've gathered all this information, it should be a lot easier for us to build a plan that's tailored to you to help you get progress. And then if you want to talk about how maybe we could work together to implement that plan, we can talk about how that works too. So click the link in the description. You'll see a form you can fill in, takes a couple of minutes. And then, yeah, we'll have a chat and create a plan to build your business. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you very soon.